What is up, au pairs? You are here. You finally made it to America or Australia or London or wherever you are in Europe, New Zealand, wherever you are. You finally starting your au pair journey. I'm going to give you guys practical steps for the first month. Now, what au pairs or people coming into this process does not realize that time flies. I kid you not, you're gonna blink and then it's gonna be time for you to go home if you're going home after your first year. If you are staying, then you have another year to have more fun and to make up for the things you didn't do in your first year. The first thing you're gonna do when you arrive, or the first week of you arriving, is get your phone number. You need to get your phone number set up because your family back home needs to hear from you. They're gonna panic, they're gonna be stressed. I know I was terrible at this, but I had to do it because my family was panicking and they were like, oh my gosh, we haven't heard from her in a while. Now, most host families already have a cell phone because they've already had a few au pairs before. They have a cell phone for the au pairs or they have a number for the au pairs already. So what you would probably have to do is just take that SIM card and put it in your phone, or take that cell phone and just start using it. Now, if the host family does not have this, let's say you're the first au pair, I would suggest going to the store or the courier company, a network company with the host family and getting you a number. The host family is in charge of paying for the number. You are in charge of your phone. Now, if the host family says we're gonna get a new phone and a number, and then at the end of the year, you have to give it back to us. If you fine with that, do that. I, however, always say to au pairs, if you can, I would personally say buy the phone for yourself and let them pay for the number. And then at the end of the year, you don't have to worry about leaving the phone with all your pictures and transferring stuff and all these things. You could just leave. You give them back their SIM card and you take your cell phone and you go home with it, or you go to the next family. Because I found that has been so helpful. Versus you now having to change stuff back, or when it's your year's over, now you have to get yourself a cell phone. Number 2, and this is specifically for au pairs who are in America. If you're here in America, you need to apply for social security. I would say try to do this within the first or second week of being here. Reason being, especially because of COVID and after COVID, it can take really long. Now, what you need to know is that when you go in, you're gonna go in and you're gonna apply and you're gonna tell them like, hey, I'm applying for social security, this is the situation, that whole thing. They're gonna ask you for letters from the agency, from your DS 2019 and all these things. But I would say within the first or second year, apply for your social security and you understand why. Number 3, remember when I said you're gonna understand why? This is the why. When you open a bank account, you need your social security. Now, I know some banks nowadays may not request a social security. I'm yet to find one though. But when you open your bank account, you're gonna need a social security and you're gonna need a proof of address. And so what I would say is, once your social security comes in, open a bank account. And then when you get that social security letter, don't throw away the other paper because it'll just be like this little card. Don't throw the paper away because you can use the paper as proof of address. Use that paper and go open a bank account. Now, I always say if you are a student or you're like 26 and below, most banks have free bank accounts. You don't have to pay anything monthly. If you want to be bougie and you want to get an account where you have to pay for stuff, go ahead. But I also would say is like try and get a bank that your host families with. So when you get paid, it can come straight away. But nowadays there's also Zelle and Venmo. So even that, even if it's not the same account as your host family, it's still okay. As long as, like, let's say if your host family is with Venmo, get Venmo. If your host family is with Zelle, get Zelle. But I would say there are a lot of free bank accounts, and maybe I'll do one where I'll just explain banks that are free. That way you don't have to pay bank charges, because I didn't know this and I was busy paying bank charges for nothing. Number 4, and I will stand on this to the day I die. I always say, write a list of things you want to achieve in your au pair year. Like if you want to travel to certain places, write your priority places on the top. If you want to like do certain things, you want to taste certain foods, you want to, because one thing I've realized with my first year and my second year, my first time coming in au pair when I came in 2016, I didn't do this. I was just like, oh, la 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 la. And then I regretted it because when I went back home, I saw all these places on TV and I saw all these things and I was like, stink, I should have done them. And then I came back the second time and I wrote them down. Now, most of the places I've been to, there are still places I haven't been to, but because I'm like now here longer, I'm like, oh, I still have time. I'm still, especially if you know for sure you're going home and you have that one here, I would definitely say write out your priorities, whether it's food you want to try, drinks you want to try, places you want to visit, things you want to do. Write it out. That way you can like look through it and put it in a place where you're gonna see it all the time. Like hang it up in your mirror, hang it up somewhere. Remind, like there's certain foods I was like I want to try, and I've told my host families because they've been like, what do you want to try like when you come to America or when you're in America? And I've mentioned a few, and they actually remind me. They're like, oh my gosh, you said you wanted to try this, or you said you wanted to try that. And so definitely make a list of stuff you want to try. Okay, number 5 is reach out to au pairs in your cluster meeting. I know this may sound cheesy, cliche, weird, awkward. Oh my gosh, cue the sad music. But I would say a simple, hey guys, I'm new, I arrived, I am Jessica from this country, whatever. I was wondering if there are any au pairs near my house or around my house. I live, and then you don't have to give your address. You can just say, I live in this area. It'd be really great to get together and have coffee with any of you guys or one of you guys, whatever. Now, I do want you to know that even if you have coffee with that au pair and it doesn't, like you have coffee, it's like, oh great, and it never turns out, listen, you had coffee, like you met someone. Embrace it, speak to them, like ask them like, hey, so how did you find friends here? Or like, how did you do this? Or how did you do that? Now, I would say, as amazing as it is to stick to just au pairs from your country, try branch out. Like definitely hang out with au pairs from your country, but don't only limit yourself to au pairs from your country. Like try other countries. You will never know who you will click with and become friends with. But yeah, a simple message on either whatever group you guys have, whether it's email groups or Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups. Au pairs usually have some sort, or host LTCs usually have like some sort of way that everyone can communicate. And so putting out a simple message there may also help you, because I'm telling you now, when it comes week 3, week 4, you're going to start to feel homesick, or you're going to start to feel isolated and lonely. And it's good to just have like that one person. And so don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is so tacky, this is so cheesy, I'm so shy. It's like a simple dinner. It can go awkward, it can go great. Done, dusted, move on. And that also could open the door to maybe making other friends, because you may not be long-term friends with that person, but because of that person you hung out with all these other people, and then you find your friend within those other people. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are a new au pair, and when I say new, under a month or just over a month, comment down below and tell me what state or which country you're in. Bye!